Well, hello again from Fat Doctor TV. Dr. Greg Oliver, once again, your fat doctor, to talk about some very important things concerning your health today. So what we're going to talk about today is long-term weight loss and long-term weight loss maintenance. So being able to keep the weight off once you lose it. And some interesting stuff. I've got some data for you today, and the data comes from what's called the National Weight Control Registry. Now what that is a registration program where anyone who's lost significant weight, and we're talking about a large percentage of their body weight, and who's kept it off for at least 1 year, can register for the National Weight Control Registry. And it's been going on for a long time. And what they do is every year they send a survey with questionnaire to ask these people who've lost weight certain questions. They want to know how they lost weight, what they do to keep it off, and all those things. And they compile that data, and it's interesting. We come up with some very specific things that we see that people who, number one, lose significant weight do, and number two, what those people who keep the weight off long term do. Now, the people who are in this registry, they've done some data and statistics and found out that about 55.4% of these people actually had help in losing weight, which means they were on a specific program, whether it was their physician, dietitian, nutritionist, coach, commercial program. About 55.4% of the people were on a program. About 44.6% of the people had done the weight loss pretty much on their own. And so they collected data from all these people, and they found out there were some key points that led to the significant weight loss, and those key points that also determined whether these people would keep their weight off for a long period of time or not. And that's years we're talking about, at least greater than a year, but some of them many, many years. And so what they found was that 98% of the people who had significant weight loss and had kept it off over a year modified what they ate. Well, that's a no-brainer. Obviously, we've got to change what we eat. And changing what we eat takes some thinking, changing our thinking a little bit. Brian Tracy wrote a great book, and you should get it and read it, and it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. So, if you can change how you feel about food, if you can modify your diet, eat less fat, eat less carbohydrates, and overall eat less calories, you're going to find out that the weight goes away. Number two in these key points was that 94% increased their physical activity. Now I know you're going, this is pretty boring, this is pretty dull, but here's the truth. Most people want to lose weight and not change their eating and not exercise. And if you're in that category, let me just be honest with you, it's not going to happen. You know that, I know that, everybody knows that. Now, getting the motivation, getting into the activity, getting started is the hard thing. It's always easy to think about it, it's hard to get started. Now the other thing that happens is 90% of these people who lost that significant weight or kept it off for a long period of time, 90% exercised at least an hour a day. Now, you're not going to start off with an hour. If you weigh 200, 250, 300, 350, 400 pounds, you're not going to start out exercising an hour a day, especially if you haven't been for many, many years. So, you got to start somewhere. Start slow. Doesn't matter what you do. Something simple on the joints would be good, like walking, swimming, cycling. Get a coach. If you don't know where to start, get a coach, get a health trainer, invest in yourself. A lot of people say, well, it's too expensive to do this or that. I mean, 95% of the people who go out and buy health equipment for their house, like treadmills and bicycles and all the equipment you see on late night TV, they don't use it. So when people ask me about what kind of health equipment they should buy for their home, I tell them, get one with plenty of knobs and handles so you can hang all your clothes on it. Because the truth is we don't do that. But if you want to invest in a coach, someone who can come in maybe just once a week and work with you and set up a program, a nice gradual steady program where you can start exercising. But eventually, if you want to keep the weight off long term, you're looking at an hour a day. There's 24 hours in a day. We work, we sleep, we spend time with our loved ones and our friends. You can find 1 hour for yourself. That's important. Now, 80% of the people, approximately 80% of the people, ate breakfast or ate a meal within 2 hours of waking up. That's a critical thing. The classic American diet, I basically say, we get up, we don't have time to eat because we're rushing out to work or to school. Then what happens is our body thinks it's still starving from overnight. It didn't eat for the last 12 or 13 or 14 hours. So about 9, 10, 11 in the morning, we go looking for something sweet and high calorie like a donut. We want to get that in our system, but it only lasts for an hour and then that energy fades away, so we go looking for the donut again. And if you're in most offices, everybody's looking for the donuts, and pretty soon the donuts are gone. So it's important not to miss that morning meal. And the people who lost weight and the people who kept it off for a long period of time ate breakfast. 80% of them ate breakfast or ate at least a small meal within the first 2 hours of getting up. Now, 75% of people that lost this weight weigh themselves at least once a week. Now, I'm a big proponent of getting on the scales every day. That may drive some people crazy, but at least once a week you need to get on there. And people say, why do I need to do that? Well, because what gets measured gets done. And if you measure it, you're going to stay in the game. You're going to keep your mind on the game. I like to weigh every day. Hey, sometimes I go up, sometimes I go down, but I think it's important to weigh every day for me because every day I start on the scales and it tells me I'm in the game, I'm doing something. But 80% or 75% of the people weighed at least once a week. Now, 62% of the people said this. Pay attention, this is going to get you. 62% of the people watched less than 10 hours of television a week. So what happens when we watch television? We're not doing anything. We're sitting. We're not burning up any calories. We're zoning out our mind. Now, there's great television out there, but 10 hours a week, probably all you need to be doing. If you're doing more than that, you're not burning up those calories. And most of the people who lost the weight and kept it off limited the variety of food they eat. Now, that's a tough one because people say, hey, I like to eat lots of different things, and that's okay. But what we find is that if we limit the amount of food variety, we tend to do better. We tend to eat less. If we have a smorgasbord, it's like going to the buffet. We go to the buffet, we tend to eat more because we got lots of things we want to pick from. If you went to the buffet and there were only 4 items, you'd probably eat less. And that's the way that works. Okay? So there are also some behavior factors they found out in this weight control registry, and they found out that having a good social support network is important. If you don't have friends or family that are supportive of you, then find a coach. Find somebody out there, join an organization, go to a commercial dietary program, find a doctor's office that has coaches or nutritionists or dietitians to help you. Also, they found that you needed to avoid what we call disinhibited eating. That means sitting on the couch with a bag of chips or a box of cookies or a package because you don't even realize what you're eating. People say all the time, well, I don't really know what I ate. Going to the movies and getting the large bucket of popcorn, that's disinhibited eating. You can't inhibit, you can't stop. You just keep on doing it. Avoid binging. That's another one of the key factors to weight loss long-term, behavior factors. Avoid binging. Don't skip food all day, miss meals all day, and then eat a ton at night. Don't wait till the weekend and say, hey, I'm going to go out and eat everything I want, everything I get my hands on. You got to avoid that. Also, avoid eating when you have negative emotions. When you're sad, depressed, angry, don't go to food with that because that teaches the brain to eat more and more as comfort, and that creates a lot of weight problems. The other thing is we have to take personal responsibility. Now, all these things came as behavior factors that people who lost weight in the registry said they did. We have to take personal responsibility for the decisions we make. Don't blame everybody else. Don't say, well, the TV commercial made me do it. Well, I was driving by McDonald's and I remembered the song and I had to go in. You've got to make decisions and hold yourself accountable. And then the last thing is you got to foster a sense of what we call autonomy. Okay, what is autonomy? It's being personally responsible, taking charge of your life, making decisions that you're the one that's going to live life the way you want to, not on anybody else's terms. Okay? One thing I like to say is this: nobody ever forced me to eat anything. Everything I ate, I did on purpose. I never accidentally ate anything in my life. So take personal responsibility for the decisions we make, and that's important. And the other thing is have a strong internal motivation. Where does motivation come from? Well, it comes from inside. We all want to go to a seminar, or we all want to read a book or watch a show or something where someone else motivates us to do something. That only lasts for a few hours or maybe a few days. Motivation's an inside job. You've got to do it yourself. So every day, think positively, try and motivate yourself, and remember these things that come from the registry of people who've proven that they can not only lose the weight, they can keep it off for long term. And it might be good to look that up, Google that or Bing it or whatever it is you do online to look at the National Weight Control Registry. great information from people who've actually lost the weight and kept it off long term. So anyway, that's the episode for today. Wanted to cover those things, give you some more details. Look forward to giving you more information in the future. And hey, take charge of your life, get the weight down, get healthy. And this is Dr. Greg Oliver, the Fat Doctor from Fat Doctor TV, saying looking forward to seeing less of you next time. Have a great day.